Hello everyone, SimsEclaire here and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we are really diving in deep with our winter builds. I am recording this on December 1st. It won't go up until the 2nd, but on Monday we had our winter lodge / ski thing go up and I was really proud of that build. It was really big and it wasn't really in my style. You know, I prefer my farmhousey style, but I was still really proud of it. But I decided to do this cabin because this is more my style and it's very small. It's 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom. I actually almost forgot to put a bathroom in here. That's how small this is. But I was really happy with how this turned out. I had this reference picture on Pinterest and it was like just this like super cozy cabin. And I do cabins a lot. Well, I don't really do cabins a lot, but I do craftsman style homes. So I was a little nervous that you guys might think it was a bit repetitive, but I promise that we are going to have some different things on the channel. After I film this face cam, I'm going to start working on a little coffee shop, so that'll be fun. And then I just finished working on a build for a collab that I'm doing, so that'll be really fun. I'm actually really excited. It's the first collab that I've ever done, and when the simmer reached out to me, I was like immediately like, yes, oh my god. And so I just finished a build for that, so that should be fun. And yeah, I think that this winter season we're just going to focus on some cozy times, cozy homes, and just, you know, enjoy The Sims for a little bit. Now I do plan on, just a little bit of self-promotion here, I do plan on starting back up with some cooking or some baking things. I haven't quite figured out what I want to do because I've had a lot of people asking for me to start doing some cooking videos, like cooking with The Sims instead of just baking. But I've also had a lot of people ask for me to just start back up with baking, so not 100% sure how I want to do it yet. There are a couple of winter themed bakes in The Sims, so for December I might just stick with those and then switch over to cooking in January. If you have a preference, please let me know in the comment section down below so I can kind of hear your guys' voices, because the majority of it's coming from Twitter and some of them don't actually like watch my videos, so I'd like to know what my subscribers think. So yeah, just let me know in the comments if you would prefer cooking or baking. But as you can see, I have decorated for Christmas, and I also have stuff for my kitchen for Christmas, so we're definitely going to be doing Christmas cooking or Christmas baking. We're going to be doing something along the lines of in my kitchen. I just don't know what yet. But anyway, back to the build. So the shape of the build came together rather quickly. And like I said, there was a reference picture. I did change it up a little bit, specifically in the back, because I didn't really like how the back looked. And then I also changed up the top layer too, because in The Sims, it's really hard to just do like one window jutted out from the top unless you use one of the roof pieces. And none of the roof pieces really matched. And I also needed room for the bedroom that I wanted to put in here. So I decided just to make the top floor a little bit bigger. And that is where the bedroom's going to end up. And then as you can see, the front has this like large fireplace just kind of sitting in the front, or it's the large chimney, but the fireplace does go right there too, which totally messed with the floor planning of this, because initially I was going to put the kitchen there and then I realized that that didn't make any sense. But anyway, now we're doing some of the landscaping. It's not a lot of landscaping. Well, that's a lie. You could probably tell in the screenshots that I kind of made it look like it was built into a forest. Like, my perfect idea of a winter vacation is like some mountain house, mountain cottage up in the forest with these like beautiful evergreens, and it's always snowing, and basically exactly like this. So when I started placing all these evergreens down, I was like, oh my god, this is so pretty. And so I just kind of went a little overboard with it, but I think it made the screenshots look really good. Like, there's one screenshot in particular that like the angle of it, like it's just like the snow is like still kind of falling, so it like gets the snow and the ground is just like semi-frosty. I don't know, I really liked the screenshots for this build. I really like this build, actually. I hope you guys do too. Hope you're not too mad at me that I kind of just like went back into my normal comfort zone. But anyway, I do end up also drawing a pond. I wasn't initially going to make one, I was just going to leave it as a forest. But I had this like really big empty space, and I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do with it because I didn't think this house would have a pool. And I also kind of built this house on a slant. You can kind of see the pond has a like little lip here. I end up covering it up with some plants. But I did want to I figured maybe naturally, like, water would pool here, and, like, so that's why there was a pond, like, just over time, like, a pond had created itself, like, it was a naturally created pond, so that's kind of what my thinking was. And I just use a whole bunch of debug plants, mostly from cats and dogs, because I am building this in Brindleton Bay, and obviously, but yeah, I think Brindleton Bay, honestly, is probably the prettiest place to build winter houses, because a lot of the trees in Brindleton Bay are evergreens, so there's a nice mix of, like, dead plants and then, like, the fully bloomed perfect evergreens with, like, the frosted tips and stuff like that. So I mean, that's just kind of my thinking. But right after the pond, we are jumping into the interior. So I'm using these festive ceiling lights, that's what they're called, from the holiday pack. I have never used these lights before, and I almost didn't keep them in this build, but they were like really nice, and I was trying not to make this build too, like, winter festy or Christmassy, but I did want it to kind of scream winter, like they were coming up here for the winter. So there are a couple of decorations placed around, just a couple of different things. There's these lights, and there's some stuff from Seasons, obviously, but I didn't try and go too overboard because I didn't think that this would be like a specifically like a Christmas cabin. We'll have more like Christmassy / Simsmas / Winterfest builds later, like closer to the end of the month, but yeah. And then we're just cluttering up this shelf right here. I didn't want to do too many cabinets because it's such a small space. I thought the cabinets would kind of close it off a little bit. So I did just do this little shelving thing, and I merged it into that the pan things. Wow, how many times I'm gonna say things in this video. But I merged it into that pan wall decorations, so that way it kind of looked like the pans were hanging from the shelf. Because I feel like, I don't know, I always use that pan thing, but I always just place it right above the sink, and I don't really think that makes a whole bunch of sense, but it's the only places that I usually have available to put them in, so I don't know, but I thought that was kind of cute merging it into the shelves. And then I'm just placing a couple clutter items, not a lot because I did need this space to be functional, so I do leave a little bit of it open. And then going over here to the front door, I place just a couple of regular, basic decorations for the front door. I get a side table in here, the umbrella rack, the Seasons thermostat, and someone commented on one of my videos that I always put the Seasons thermostat in there. I do. I'm not gonna lie, I do. And if you don't have Seasons, it doesn't really affect the build all that much. You just won't have the thermostat. And so I do apologize that I always put the thermostat in there, but for my gameplay purposes, I always use the thermostat. So it's just kind of like in my head, I always put that thermostat in there. So I do apologize if you guys don't like it. It's not in my base game builds because I can't put it in there, but yeah, anyway, and then this over here is the living area. So this has the fireplace, and I almost put it out so that way it was more matching with the theme of the exterior with the chimney, but I did that in my build on Monday, and I didn't want to repeat it, but I also didn't want to take up too much space because I already planned on cluttering up this area quite a bit because I do like really super cluttered cozy living areas in cabins, and I figured that that kind of made more sense. If they came up here for just a vacation, they'd probably have a whole bunch of stuff around and different things that they had brought or maybe bought up here that they didn't have space to put places. But anyway, so this is where I start using some of the Christmas decorations. I just used some of the holly and some of the candle decorations, and then I placed a whole bunch of plants around in this build to fill up some space, and I also used these outdoor retreat lamps. I don't think I've ever used these lamps before. I don't use outdoor retreat all that often, which is kind of surprising considering how much craftsman style things that I do, but outdoor retreat is kind of, it's not my favorite pack, let's just put it that way. I don't usually take my Sims camping, if we're being totally honest, because I don't really go camping in real life. If I take my Sims on vacation, it's usually to El Salvadorada, and then now obviously we can take vacations in residential world, so I'll probably be taking them to Mount Komorebi more than anything because I personally prefer snowy, mountainous areas. So that's probably where I'm going to take all my Sims, and I might do a residential lot in, or not a residential lot, a rental lot in, what's it called? Sulani, just because when I was growing up, we have a beach like 2 hours from where I live. We have Ocean City, Maryland, and when I was growing up, it was like every summer we went down there for at least like 2 weeks. So in my family, like, going to the beach is a summer vacation thing. Now, obviously, in the game, it's a whole world, it's a whole culture that we got from island living. So I'm not going to turn it into a completely rental area, like a vacation spot, but I do think I'm probably going to put at least one, because I still wish in The Sims that you could own 2 houses. Like, I think I said this in my Winter Lodge video, but I wish that you could have your Sims live in a house, and then kind of like a retail lot where they own the business, they could own a vacation home. Like, I really wish they could do that. So that way you could have a home for your Sims to always go to, and you didn't have to worry about renting it every time, or like you would just pay a monthly fee for owning the house, and then that would be that. So I really wish that we had that option in The Sims. Fingers crossed. I don't think it's ever going to happen, but I wish it would. And then, yeah, and that's what I would do. I would have them own like a little beach shack so that they could always go, or a house in the mountains. I think that would be really cute. But anyway, going over here, I had this space that I was initially going to turn into a second bedroom, and then I decided not to do that. So I did end up turning it into a laundry room slash like back entrance, because there is a door over here, and I figured a lot of the times when I was a kid, when I was coming home from being in the snow, we would always come in through the back door because the laundry room was downstairs. So we would like shed all of our snow clothes, like the snow, because we always had warmer clothes underneath of the snow clothes. So we would like shed all the actual snow clothes and then put on like our inside sweaters, and then throw all of the snow clothes into the washing machine immediately, and then like wash them, and then we would warm up downstairs by like the TV and everything. So I figured that this was like a nice little area to do that with. They could come in from the snow, take off their snow jackets, their snow pants, their boots, not track all the water through the rest of the house, just throw everything into the dryer to dry everything up, and maybe like hang some coats and stuff, so that way they have some things to wear around the house, and then, you know, set the fire. But now we're going upstairs into the bedroom. Now, most of the decorations for this is going to be from the top view. I do apologize, but it was really hard with how the roofs were to get like side views of it. But I'm using this base game rustic dream bed, I think is what it's called. And then tiny living dressers as side tables. I do this when I don't have a lot of space in bedrooms, just to keep everything functional, so you have a dresser, but it also like looks better. And then over here, I'm just going to do a little bit of a plant corner, and then I also believe I end up adding the Jungle Adventure mirror, the really tall one that leans against the wall. It's probably my favorite mirror in the game. I just really like all the detail they put into it, and all of the swatches look really nice. Like, sometimes when we get wood swatches, they're a little off, but in terms of matching that pack, I think that the swatches are probably the best ones that we got. And then going downstairs again, I ended up filling in some more space in this laundry room. I forgot a laundry like basket, so I wanted to make sure I added that, because once you place the laundry machines, your Sims have to do laundry. That's how the game kind of works. And if you don't have a laundry basket, then the laundry just ends up like thrown all over the floor, which is not a good look, especially in a place this small. So I wanted to make sure I added one of those. And then I also just added a couple of the other laundry day decorations that we got. And then going outside, I get this nice little couch, and then I also end up adding a bike, just because I thought that was a cute little feature. And then inside of these jars, I do end up placing some plants just to bring some color into the outside. But besides that, that is it for this video. So I hope you all enjoyed this one. If you did, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all next time. Bye!